Good news and bad news. The good news is I finally got some games. The bad news is one of my pokes basically just overslept and I left it at home. No. What happened was I was streaming today, and then a guy wanted a Yu match. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll bring these 5 guys, and then I'll bring a Blastoise. And then I hit confirm, but I realized at the last minute that my Blastoise was a different color highlight than everything else, and that meant that I left it behind. So I'm all of a sudden down a physical wall, meaning that against Crobat and Darmanitan, and possibly Kingdra depending on the variant, and then maybe even Rhyperior, it's going to be a struggle without Blastoise. Blastoise is really important. The fact that I left it behind is really shitty, but you know, I was like, you know what, I will just go with it. Just go with it. And turn 1, like, horrible matchup. I was like, okay, I'm probably going to get taunted, but I'm going to go for it. U-turn, no. He's going to go for the U-turn. I'm going to go for the Sleep Powder anyway because the taunt won't break my sash regardless. I'll just go with it. So I go for Sleep Powder. Turns out it hits the Roserade on the switch. It's fine. I was like, okay. If he's running a Poison Point Roserade just to troll people that do this, then I could lose if I go for the Double Powder, but he actually stays in on the Double Powder, which, you know, is a good move too. So I figure I might as well switch out to my Azelf, because this Azelf, oh my lord, this Azelf runs Train when it wants to. I just haven't used it in some time, and every now and then I just pop it out the box. It's got 4 coverage moves. That's all it needs, and it just ruins things. So naturally, I'm not going to go for a Grass Knot on a Roserade. I figure I might as well go for a Psychic, and then just see how much it does to the Rhyperior. And it does a really good chunk. It doesn't look like it's going to take it out yet. And then maybe this is just me spouting off my mouth, but I probably made it a little bit evident that I did have the Grass Knot. So he decides to go out into his Raikou to take the hit, except Raikou really doesn't take it that good. And I actually learned right now that Raikou's kind of heavy. Doesn't look that heavy. I mean, you know, for like a Saber-tooth tiger with a cloud on its ass, the Grass Knot's a 2-shot from an unstabbed Azelf, all that thing. So I still didn't know what kind of Raikou it was. The fact that he switched it in on the Azelf is like, maybe he has something for me. I don't know what's going on here. But I brought Robot Randy to the match, and I figured his Raikou was going to be choice. So I was like, okay, I'll just go into this, and then I'll see what I can do from here. So set up a sub, because that's what Robot Randy does. He is a sub-punching Golurk, and Focus Punch actually hits a little bit harder than Earthquake thanks to the Iron Fist. I mean, they're both going to be super effective on Rhyperior. I think, yeah. So Focus Punch will go up to, both of them will go up to 300 base power because they're super effective. But Solid Rock effectively cuts it down. So you're just looking at raw base power right now. It does get a little bit of a boost thanks to that. So I figure I might as well go for a Focus Punch. And I'm behind a sub, so I mean, why the hell not? I'll just go for something. And it turns out the Rhyperior actually lives it, which was kind of disappointing at first, but then I realized, okay, you know what? Although we did break my sub, I do get the opportunity to just hit something with a Shadow Punch. This variant doesn't run Stone Edge. I know my No Guard Choice Banded one does. I think it's a No Guard one. It's probably a No Guard one. Honestly, I don't remember. But I get a little bit more HP, and then Roserade comes in, and I don't know what I want to have put to sleep. So I figure I might as well go into my own Roserade and then see how that works out. So we're actually hitting Sleep Powders. The fact that I actually hit one in this game, I have been trying to stay away from Sleep Powder as a move in general ever since the last tournament, because I missed like 3 of them in the double eliminations, and it was like, oh god, why am I even using this move? But he takes me out with the crit Sludge Bomb. I honestly don't think that mattered if he's Life Orb. Yeah, he's Life Orb. Okay, so I really don't think that mattered, especially because I already had a hit off on me. My sash is broken, etc., etc. But now I know he's not some funky, like, special defensive build or anything like that. He's probably purely offensive. Might as well go for a Psychic with the Azelf to take him out. So, Roserade's down, and then just keep in mind that I was down a poke the entire time. So he brings in Darmanitan right now. The only reason whatsoever you'd bring in Darmanitan in on an Azelf is if you were fucking choiced. If you were choice Scarf, because that would be the only way you'd outspeed it. But I didn't really have anything that wanted to take a hit because I don't have Blastoise. So like, shit, I'm gonna have to sack it. So go for a Psychic, and it turns out I'm actually faster. So I'm not sure if that was a bluff or him expecting that he could take any one of my hits, which both were actually right, but the second one was probably the main reason he sent it in. So now that his Darmanitan and Rhyperior are gone, I figure I can just go into my own Darmanitan, and I can just do stuff. So I figure, what the hell, I'm in here now, I might as well go for a U-turn. It turns out that his Raikou is Scarf, but we don't learn that till later. I did want to go for the U-turn right now because I do remember that he does still, in fact, have a Kingdra. So I might as well get some damage off on that, make it easy for something else to take out. And then if he wants to stay in with Raikou, then I'll get some damage off on that while taking T-Bolt, that kind of thing. I figure the closest thing I have to full HP is Heracross. So that should, under normal circumstances, threaten him out. But I'm going to go for a Stone Edge and nail the Crobat right in the face. I have not missed any move that are like actually lower than 100% accuracy, which is really nice. Because slipping up at any point in this game definitely would have cost me it, like right there and then on the spot. So we're still in this. It's still pretty difficult for me because we do have a Kingdra on our hands. Looking at the HP count, it's a little bit of a bulkier variant, as is evident by the Resto Chesto. So it's like, okay, well, shit. What do I do about this thing? This has suddenly become a problem because he's going to get all the HP back for free. And there's also the fact that I could just miss a Stone Edge at any point in time. And if I miss a Stone Edge, that's going to be a problem. But because he's bulky, he's probably not running max speed, that whole thing. It means an Adamant Heracross is actually able to outspeed him. Granted, he does take me out with an Outrage. I kind of feel like this might be a crit. If it is, I wouldn't be surprised. If it isn't, I honestly... Oh, it was a crit. Okay. Maybe I could have taken... I honestly don't know. But he's locked in on Outrage, so that's cool, I guess. I can actually go into Darmanitan right now, and I am a Scarf Darmanitan. So I can just go for an Earthquake and take him out. And then, spoilers, I actually win from here because if his Raikou is choiced like I think it is, or, yeah, if it was Specs, I would outspeed it and knock it out. But because it's Scarf, if he's, like, Scarf Modest and he actually does take me out with a T-Bolt, I still have Golurk. So he'll be trapped in T-Bolt forever, and I can just knock him out with Earthquake. So, or however that went. I feel like I messed that up. If I didn't, whatever, you kind of get the point from here. An Earthquake from something or other is going to be able to clinch a game for me. So, that was one of the games I took today. I was down a poke and somehow still managed to pull through. It was very interesting. Next time, I actually bring a Blastoise. But for now, that's the game. I mean, it was a little bit of a shorter one, but if you guys liked it, you can go ahead and leave a like rating, comment, and subscribe and do your thing. I actually got 3 games, including this one, out of the stream today before my power cut out, which is really unfortunate because that 4th game was actually looking pretty cool. But I do have material for next week, thankfully, and I should hopefully find the time to stream sometime this weekend or later on in the week, at least once, get some games, because I realized I did not upload it all this week, and that's really shitty of me. I apologize for that. I just really haven't been in the mood either. So here's a game. I'll try to get back on track with games, at least showdown games and stuff. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.